Coach Cal had a quote after the game saying that you guys won every 50-50 ball in that Kentucky UCLA game. What do you think? Do you think that was a true assessment? You guys got every 50-50 ball?
Well, I don't know if we got every one of them. I'm sure they got their percentage as well. But I did like our scrappiness. I liked how we got to not just the loose balls, but the board play. That was a huge concern going in, was the backboard. I think they were plus 8, 9, 10 on the season. So, and an outstanding offensive rebounding team. And to really play them even on the backboard was going to favor us. And I thought our guys did a really good job of that.
How pleased were you with the ability to close out the game, given the fact that there had been a few games where you guys weren't able to close it down the final 5-10 minutes?
Well, big, because it's a learning curve, and that's as big a stage as our guys have been on all year. I think we were 6 for 6 at the foul line in the last 4 minutes, and we didn't turn the ball over. So we gave our offense a chance, but then I thought we got key stops. Prince had a deflection for a steal for Aaron. Gigi had a baseline drop for a steal. These were 2 huge plays defensively to go with taking care of the ball and making free throws. Those are winning plays. Those are things you got to do down the stretch, and I thought our guys handled that, especially, you know, coming off a Michigan game where everything went wrong. Sometimes that can get into your head, and now it just snowballs from there. So very appreciative of our guys that in less than 2 weeks from the Michigan game, they were able to figure that out and make the right plays against Kentucky.
Did that pretty much feel like a second road game because it was on the East Coast, not on the East Coast, but more toward Kentucky than it was UCLA?
Well, there were definitely more Kentucky fans there, but no, it was not like at Michigan. At Michigan was 10,000, you know, people going crazy in maize and blue. So that was a legit road game. But obviously there was probably a pro-Kentucky crowd, but it wasn't near what it was at Michigan.
You had 2 guys come back and practice as scheduled. How did they look?
They did fine. Yeah, did fine.
What was it like to get them back?
Just good with practice, of having some depth. It's able to get some of our starters some breaks in practice that we haven't had, and then I think getting both of those guys back engaged. They've done everything we've asked them to do academically. Had a very good quarter. Did the things they were supposed to do. So having them back engaged, at least in a practice setting, I think is good.
With the suspension more definite now, in the past, I wonder, was there any sort of feeling of like, you know, help is maybe going to be on the way? And have you noticed any sort of mentality shift in your team now that that's not going to be the case?
No, I don't think so. I mean, obviously we've communicated with the guys on a need-be situation of what we wanted to do, but I think our guys have known that this is what it's looked like from the beginning. You know, it wasn't something that happened in December. It happened before the season even started. So every game that we've played, the 12 games that we've played, we've had those same guys. So that's not really an adjustment. I think if anything, just knowing there was some finality to it, from a public standpoint, I think that that definitely has helped the mindset of the guys.
Everybody come out of the quarter okay grade-wise?
Everything that I've heard so far, yes. Everything's been good.
How is the Pac-12 kind of landscape different now versus when the season started? Obviously, some teams haven't done as well as thought. Maybe USC and Arizona, and some others have kind of come up, like Arizona State. How different is it than maybe people thought?
Well, I think maybe the surprise team, you know, at least through the non-conference, has been Arizona State. To be one of, 3 undefeateds, that's pretty impressive. You know, to go undefeated in the non-conference that's not easy to do in today's college basketball world with neutral games and road games and tournaments and those type of things. So, but as far as, you know, like Arizona and SC, I think both those teams are playing really well. You know, SC just won a tournament in Hawaii, and Arizona's been, you know, on fire since leaving. I think this is the Bahamas that they played in. You know, they've played the way people thought they were going to play. So I still think those are the 2 teams that have the most experience back and an awful lot of talent. So I still think those are teams that were predicted towards the top that you're going to have to deal with in the next 2 months.
How close are you to where you thought this team would be?
That's a hard question, Ben, because you know, again, we were planning on having a lot of depth and 11 guys, so I don't know if I really had a clear picture on where we'd be non-conference because of so much youth, because really we were planning on playing 11 guys. 8 of them didn't play last year, and from the tip then in China, we're playing 8 guys. 5 of them didn't play last year, so you know, it really dramatically changed kind of your concept of how you're going to do things offensively and defensively. I know I'm very pleased going into conference season where we're currently at. I really like what this team has done. They've worked, they've grown, they've gotten better, they've come closer together. We're a much better team now than what we were in China. And so those things are positive. We're healthy, so hopefully we can stay healthy as we move forward, because we don't have a big margin for error when it comes to bodies and health. So, but we've got to continue to practice and practice hard to get better, and we just got to hope the injury bug stays away from us.
Montana, anything?
We're working on it. It is something that we're in conversations with them, just trying to figure it out, because you're dealing with two different schedules. Both are going to be in league play, because obviously if the game gets rescheduled, it's going to be in their conference schedule and in our conference schedule somewhere. So we're in communications. It's something that I definitely want to play, because I think where we're at now, playing that extra game in the non-league does help you. So, and Montana's a very good team. It's going to be a good RPI game. So I'm hopeful, but I don't have any word on it yet.
Did you try to fit that in SC week when you only have one game?
I think there are several dates that we're looking at, and communicating with them, trying to match the schedules. But right now, I just know talks are in the process.
How impressive has Aaron Holiday been in late game closing situations this year? There's the Wisconsin game where he hit the game winner, and then the Kentucky game, obviously, he stepped up in the end as well.
Well, he's crucial to our success. I think if you just look at our 6 power conference games that we've had, look at what our score is with him off the floor versus on the floor, you get an idea of just how important he is to this team. And there's been a lot of pressure on him, with the lack of depth. That obviously is going to take his responsibility to another whole level. And I think he's done a tremendous job. I think he and Tom have been doing a great job with leading this team and making the plays they got to make. And nobody was more disappointed in the Michigan game than what Aaron was, because Aaron thrives in those situations. But as I told him, there's times you're going to miss the last shot, you're not going to make the right play, but great players want the ball and they want to make those plays, and he did that. He did that against Kentucky. He made his free throws. He made a great left-hand penetration. He guarded. He made the right plays pass-wise of trusting his teammates, and we're seeing Aaron do that more. That as we've played more and more games, he's trusting his teammates more, and we've got an awful lot of trust as a coaching staff that he'll make the right play.
Washington State, where are they versus where?
Yeah, huge concern. They won the same tournament we won last year in Anaheim, and beat San Diego State while they were down there. Who's a very good basketball team. So this is a team that has been scary. I think they won their first 5 or 6 games, lost a couple, won one, lost one. Now they won their last one. So a team that presents issues because no true center. A lot like South Dakota, where they spread the floor on you, a lot of motion. They're going to change defenses from zones to matchup to man. So you're going to get a variety of different looks from them defensively. And then offensively, a team that wants to run, wants to get up and down the floor, wants to shoot a lot of threes. So I think they're going to be a challenge to us on both ends of the floor. They're going to challenge our defense. They're going to challenge our offense.
What have you seen from Washington, new coach, and they beat KU in Kansas City as well?
I haven't seen much. My whole stuff here over the break has been Washington State. Obviously, I know Coach Hopkins, being a Syracuse guy, is an awful lot of 2-3 zone, and so I know we're going to see a lot of zone in that game. And I did get to see bits and pieces of the Kansas game, a national TV game, and obviously a huge win for them and our conference, and they played very well in that game.
When you look at the Pac-12 schedule going into it, do you ever say we need to win X amount of games to get to where we need to be, or do you just take every game, we're going to try to win every game and not worry about
we got to win Washington State, and then on Friday night, late Friday night, we turn our attention to Washington. So obviously I've got coaches that are scouting ahead of time, but our attention as a team and my attention is it's one game at a time. After you've done this so long, Ben, it's like, you do things like that and then you end up losing games that you thought you were going to win, and then you win a game you thought you were going to lose. And my whole thing is stay consistent, stay in the moment, control what you can control. I can't control what Washington's going to do at USC just as much as I can control what the rest of the league is doing this weekend. It's what we do control is how we go about doing things in preparation for Washington State, and that's got to be our mindset. And then when that game's over, we turn a quick look to what Washington is, get a day off, and then we go to the base.